Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of City Skylines. Last time in part 0 we put together a little map, and this time we're going to actually start working on the little town that's going to sit at the foot of this volcano here. The terrain isn't perfect yet. The map last time was more just like kind of a base to work off of. You know, we got our lump of clay and it's time to sculpt it. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of terrain changes as we work through this. Right now, we're just working on probably the smallest area that we're ever going to work on. We're focusing on the old historic part of town. So if you remember if you watched the last episode, you'll know a bit about kind of the history behind this little area that we're putting together. And this area has a lot of history. This volcano is highly regarded by the religious people that live here, known as the Keepers of Ozne. And Mount Ozne is the volcano, is said to be where their gods live, and the Keepers of Ozne are there to protect the volcano at all costs, so that their gods can do their god things in peace. So this town's been around for a very long time. These people have been guarding this volcano for a very long time, and I just said the same thing 3 times in a row, but it's fine. Yeah, so right now I'm just laying down the street, the roads, the layout. It's always awkward actually putting a city together in City Skylines, because you have to do all the utilities and stuff. So I'm putting down windmills now, and you'll see me put down a hospital and a police station and all that. It doesn't quite fit the theme of what we're working on today. So as you'll see in a second, I'll start plopping down houses. And most of this video is basically just building up the town, and it's a lot of houses. I plan on going back into the workshop and looking for more like commercial buildings and service buildings that fit the theme. I mostly use this French Aquitaine house set. I think I said that right. They're really cool houses. I forget who they're by, but if you go in the workshop and look through the low residential, low density residential stuff, you'll find it pretty easily. And I'm using this red brick road. A while ago I was working on a Southeast Asian themed city, and there were a lot of Thai assets that were really cool, including this road. Again, I forget who put it together, but if you want any of the assets or mods that I'm using, maybe I'll make a collection or something. Let me know. But yeah, just putting down houses. You'll see people starting to move in. The trees I use in this area, I have this, that forest brush mod that lets you select multiple trees and brush them down to make like a, not so homogeneous forest. But I don't know, because if you remember from last time as well, this part of the continent that we're building on is very far north, so it's very cold. So I wanted to include a lot of pine trees, but I don't know, I couldn't really find any good pine trees. Some of the nicer looking ones are really, really big, which doesn't, make so much sense in the town. So I used some like small pine trees. I think I even used some of the vanilla trees, which don't look quite as good, but their colors actually fit kind of nicely. Yeah, here I'm using the vanilla pine trees. They're kind of the right size, and they're not as detailed as some of the ones you can get on the workshop, but I do like how dark green they are. I don't know, I think it kind of works. And you'll notice I also I made the first parking lot in this town, which doesn't quite fit the aesthetic. This is a very old town, ancient, it doesn't look too old, but I was kind of going for more of an old style kind of look, like people have been here for thousands of years. Obviously parking lots weren't around thousands of years ago, but I assume that, you know, they have these tiny roads that they can't park on, and these small houses that, you know, coming into the new age, they made room for some parking lots kind of behind some of the houses. So instead, kind of I keep them very few, and only in like the empty spaces, because otherwise they can't park their cars anywhere. And I feel like that's less realistic in a way. Yeah, I don't know, this whole video is just me placing houses. I kind of, I also found there's this really cool asset on the workshop. It was like a little church. Yeah, I'm placing it down right now. I think it looks pretty cool. It kind of brings a focal point to the rest of the town, because you've got all these houses spread out everywhere, and it's like, yeah, whatever, but then, you know, they all come together into this one church. And they started demanding commercial, and you see me placing some commercial buildings down here. Again, some of these don't really fit that well, but they're kind of towards the edge of what I would consider like the historical town. So it kind of makes sense, because that's also where the highway connects. So like maybe, you know, they built this highway, and when they connected it, they demolished some older buildings and to make way. And then in their place, they, you know, put up some newer commercial buildings, I guess, I don't know. And then down by the river here, I'm making a little kind of commercial district. Again, I don't really have any like old-timey or, you know, more thematic commercial buildings, but I made this nice little parking lot area and made like a planter barrier, so I don't know. I'm definitely not the best at detailing, and I'm definitely want to go back and like go over some of the other things, because this episode is mostly just like putting down the houses and, you know, getting the infrastructure there and kind of the more vague kind of layout there, rather than going through and detailing everything. Let me know if you guys have any ideas or any suggestions of what I could do, or if you have any assets that you think would look really good, like a school, for instance. I had to use the vanilla European style elementary school, which I think fit in pretty well. So I got lucky there, but I know the high schools, and especially the universities, are kind of really big. I'm probably not going to fit. That is, if I even want to do a university in this little town, because right, this is supposed to be a very small town, a very remote location, but it's filled with a lot of history. So I want to, you know, it's going to be a big tourist attraction. There's going to be, later on, I plan on making some like big national parks, and you can go like camping on Mount Ozne or whatever. But that's all to come. And maybe I want to save some of the other stuff for like the more modern part of town, like the commercial and all that. But I need to fill my citizens' needs. Oh, and you'll also see way to like the south along the river, I extended a little road that goes under the bridge. So obviously, right, this highway wasn't always here. And way back when, people needed to get to this town, so that road is kind of like a artifact of how people used to get here. But so this part of the time lapse is coming to an end right now, and here we have some cinematics, so I will leave you to these. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you next time.